that's coming to the dream. Loving every second, every moment, every scream. I've been waiting so long to sing this song, and I've been waiting so long for this thing to come. Oh, I've been thinking so long I was the only one. I can stand here strong and thin, and I can laugh when this thing begins.
This was one of my Alice Cooper favorite songs that made me... Every time I felt good, I'd put it on, is what I'm trying to say. But because I don't have a whole lot of brain power, I can't do all that shit at once, right? So, welcome to Vinyl Junkies. It's going to be a good one. Ooh, boy, is it going to be a barn burner today. So much news. A lot happens in a week here, and I'm happy that we have a regular show to talk about it now. The show will go to twice a week soon enough and move from there. Those of you that don't know, the Vinyl Junkies store is opening up so freaking soon. VinylJunkies.store. Sign up for the newsletter. Nearly 200 of you signed up for that newsletter, and as a result, we're going to give away a copy of a typo negative box set. Oh yes, it's not too late. It's not too late. VinylJunkies.store. Sign up to the newsletter, and we will pick at the end of the show. Now, you guys know from listening to the show that very often we'll get taken down for copyright. It's happened with Led Zeppelin, and it's happened with Third Man Catalog. So I have some good news. Why would I play an Alice Cooper album, right? Because Alice Cooper's a Warner artist. Friends, we got good news. I have received email that tells me that Vinyl Junkies has been whitelisted for all of the Warner catalog. All of it. So I can play Led Zeppelin until the fucking cows come home. You understand? If I want to. Aretha, she's fair game. Alice Cooper, fair game. Dr. John, a whole bunch of stuff. So what that does is it makes me want to play more Warner Brothers stuff. Not because I like it better, but because I can put on a show without fear of being taken down for copyright. So it is with that in mind that Alice Cooper will be followed up with the very excellent Ornette Coleman. More news coming. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Numero Group. Don't worry about it. Enjoy yourselves, all right? And there you go. Because now I can play some Ornette Coleman, and you have no idea how happy that makes me. Welcome to Vinyl Junkies. Back-to-back songs from the illustrious Warner catalog, because Vinyl Junkies, the big news is that we have been whitelisted. This radio show has been whitelisted for all Warner catalog, which means I can play you stuff on Nonsuch. I can play you the new Tom Waits when that comes out. I can play you Tenarowin, and if you guys don't know Tenarowin yet, oh, I can't wait to play that for you. If you like Bombino, if you're familiar with that, or just basically, you know, desert music, I'm going to play that at some point. There are a whole bunch of labels that we're going to be stocking in the shop, and that's where it is that we're going to head off with a bunch of good stories and the Numero story that everyone's been talking about for the last couple of days. It's an interesting one. Why don't I talk about some of the catalog that is coming in? I think I've made mention of the Sundays catalog. I'm real excited about that. So we're going to see a lot of garage rock, actually, from both sides of the North American border. Sundays, you know, just does garage, obscure garage, fantastically. So, and they make consistently good records. So I absolutely wanted to put that in the shop. You know, I should probably address the fact that I've said that the shop would be open last Tuesday. I want to do this right. We are going to open, and there's going to be kinks to iron out and all of the rest of the stuff, but I want to do it right, so it needs a bit more time to bake. It'll be ready when it's ready, and even then I'm pretty sure it's going to be a rough go, but I promise, if you guys know anything about me, I ain't going to stop working until I provide you with a quality experience. Vinyl Junkies will be the only shop, vinyljunkies.store, that will stock for quality. As some of you know, I've developed a quality control test, which basically tests the actual product, the actual records type of thing, scored out of 100, and we'll pick only stuff that basically scores very high and explain, so that you guys have a very good customer experience and you don't get caught with, you know, something that happened to me last week. Walk into a record store, spend $400 on records, 150 of those dollars, no good. Bad records for a variety of reasons. I'm fed up of that. That's why vinyljunkies.store will exist. And that's what it is that leads for me to talk highly about labels. And I'm happy to do that because labels that make good records exist at every price point. You don't have to spend the $50 and $60 price point. You know, there's bang for buck. So there's such a thing as a certain level of quality for a sub $20 record. And those are the ones that we're going to stock. And there's a lot of good stuff. Return to Analog, a label from Montreal. So believe me, you're going to be getting a whole lot of Quebec prog and garage and metal, and just, I can't wait to play some of the catalog. They have a good section of concerts from artists like Oscar Peterson and Sonny Stitt live in Paris. I'm going to be playtesting those recordings and putting the best ones up on the shop whenever that is. All I can tell you is go to vinyljunkies.store, sign up to the newsletter, and we'll get it done as soon as we can get it done. We will pick a winner, by the way, at the end. Don't worry, we won't forget. Until then, let's follow up some Ornette Coleman with Ministry.
Immigrants that
this motherfucker off. We're gonna tear this motherfucker down.
Yeah! How's about that, them Ministry people? I love that band. I was trying to choose a song. Actually, the song that I wanted to choose is Do You Think I'm Sexy? Or Supernaut by 1,000 Homo DJs, which is also on this here. It's Ministry's Greatest Fits, released a little while ago on Run Out Groove. One of my favorite, excuse me, one of my favorite, I guess, audiophile labels. And by when I say audiophile, I don't necessarily mean the music, you know, because usually you talk about that, and I mean, Ministry doesn't necessarily have to be audiophile, but I guess what I mean is that they make good records. You get a good, solid Stoughton jacket. It's a really substantive vinyl experience, which kind of earns the extra dollars that it costs for it, right? 180 gram vinyl, really well pressed, stuff that I like very much. So this Ministry's Greatest Fits was released a bunch of months back, and I think it's the first time on vinyl. We heard Thieves off the album. Mind is the terrible thing to taste, a terrible thing to taste. I'm going to continue roaming on down the Warner catalog because it's fun. Hope you guys are having a good one. It is bloody hot outside, I know. I'm sitting in the air conditioning and drinking water with lemon. Our winner will be announced soon. Until then, I'm going to keep playing some more music from the Warner catalog. Hope you guys are having a really good Friday. I am. Looking forward to it.
This is Rock and Roll Radio. Come on, let's rock and roll with the Ramones.
Let's go!
is Rock and Roll Radio. Stay tuned for more rock and roll.
And there we go. We've just heard from Devo, Working in a Coal Mine. Favorite Devo song? Very unlikely, I guess. I'm not sure. Actually, I've posted this record before, and you guys, when I posted the Working in a Coal Mine song, what you just heard, there were some enthusiastic reactions, so I guess I'm not the only one. I just think it's such a catchy song. I mean, Whip It's good too, and all of their records are good. I mean, and Mongoloid is, you know, Mongoloid. So, I guess I should talk about Numero, and the way it is that I'm going to lead into Numero is speak to you about how the conversation came to be. I mean, those of you that watch every week kind of know already that quality control has been something that I've been working on. Just basically fed up of buying bad records, and I buy enough of them for it to start meaning a significant amount of money. So I got fed up and brought this up to some people in the industry, and pretty much got stonewalled, you know. So started doing my own research. Now we fast forward, and vinyljunkies.store is going to happen soon. Now I got to put my money where my mouth is, right? I can't test your records for you. But what it is that I could do is I can check the SKU, and I can make sure that I'm testing a record from the same pressings that yours came from, right? So, I mean, there are a million different Led Zeppelin records, right? But if I want the Jimmy Page remaster, that's the one I'm going to, that's the one that I would suggest to you without any problem, because I've tested the Jimmy Page remasters and can tell you that they're freaking amazing. So, to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, we're going to have some of those Led Zeppelin remasters if we can find them, because they're absolutely banging. And any record in our store basically looks to have at least a 90% VJQC score. So what it is that I've been doing is really cherry picking all of the best records, and we're slowly populating our store for whenever it is that it opens. Basically, it'll open when it's ready. And in doing so, I'm having conversations. I've been having conversations with labels pretty much since October. But there's an added element to it now, being that I want to absolutely do everything that I can to make sure that when you guys buy records, you're getting records that won't frustrate the hell out of you when you take them home. You got to be happy when you get home a record. It's just scratches everywhere, stuff that's off center, stuff that's not mastered properly. I'm done, man. I'm done. The industry doesn't care about this stuff, or a lot of the industry doesn't care about this stuff. Some of them are really trying, and you can get some great records. So I don't want to paint the entire picture, but the way it is that this leads me to Numero Group is that it is a label that I love. I've been buying them, I started buying vinyl again. Like, I stopped collecting vinyl and went to CD for most of the 90s, actually all of the 90s and half of the century after, I guess, until 2007, and then I picked up vinyl again. Numero Group were there. Those capsule pressings, just Syl Johnson, man, they just put out so much good music, so excellently curated. The packaging was always on point. I really, I've purchased many, a couple of dozen for sure over the years, So, naturally, being a fan, I want to be able to stock these titles if I believe in them. You see, now the thing is that my last title that I bought was this here. Okay, Switched on Eugene. Now, anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of early Moog music, Walter, Wendy Carlos, from which the Switch title came from, and just electronic music in general. I love especially that pioneering stuff. It's just bold and it speaks to me. I get as much of it as I can. So Switched on Eugene is really just a bunch of tapes, from a small little scene. So it's like, it's not supposed to be hi-fi. I didn't expect hi-fi. That's not what the issue is, right? Okay, so I know what I'm getting. That's cool. I still bought in. But there was a problem. The problem was that the record was off-center. Okay, in terms of my score, I score out of 10. It was 7 out of 10 off-center, where you can really see the tone arm move around. And probably worse than that, you guys have probably seen it too. The records themselves are housed in these cheap-ass paper sleeves. Okay, so when you pull them out, and I don't expect you to be able to see this on camera, but there are scuffs everywhere. The reason those scuffs are there, it's pretty simple, is because somebody decided that they're going to put them in these paper sleeves, and the records are going to get all scuffed up as a result. So when I start looking at the record and it doesn't sound good, and it's off-center, and it's warped, there's scratches all over it, Numero Group offers an amazing curated experience. But the product in this case was not up to snuff. It wasn't. I did not feel like I got my money's worth. And as I started, looking at the pressing plants that they use, I saw that they used Rainbow. I saw that they used United. I got to tell you, man, I'm not... yeah, there's work to do, man. But all of a sudden, I just kind of found that, fuck, I can't buy Numero Group anymore, because it's just, I'm fed up with buying bad records. Some of them are really good, but some of them aren't. So it's like, I don't want to take a chance. Now, that's all fine on a personal level, but when you're going to stock it in a store for other people to buy, and your stock and trade is going to be, you know what, I'm going to test these records ahead for you so that they sound good, and I know at least that the run, I've tested one of the records myself, and I know what you're going to get, It makes for a much more assured shopping experience. So I raised the issue on Twitter with the Numero Group, and I've done it with a couple of labels. Basically, I said something to the effect of, your catalog's really great, man, and it's just, don't press at United or Rainbow or those guys, because it's just, they don't do the catalog justice there. It's the record is inconsistent, man. It's just, there are QC problems. So I just put up the email here to tell you what their responses were to me. There were a couple of responses. Okay, so the first one is people are going to complain no matter what. You can check this on Twitter, by the way. The Twitter feed is there. There's nothing hidden. Nothing's edited. Nothing. It's all there. Okay, you want to go onto Facebook? Go on Facebook. Go. It's all there. You guys can read. Okay, but I'll read it to you because some of you are listening on podcast. People are going to complain no matter what, is what they said. Pressing no records is the only real solution. Okay, so I'm asking about a record. I'm talking about, a record that just didn't do it for me, I guess, with the intention of actually stocking this stuff, but the conversation never went there. Okay, and the first thing is the guy tells me is pressing no records is the solution. So, okay. Then their second response was, we've pressed over 400 unique titles, millions of records. Go take a tour of any plant. They're all overbooked. That we're getting any QC, quality control, at all is a miracle. This problem only changes when fewer people press vinyl. Now, this is coming from a record company that sells vinyl. And they're telling me that the plants are overbooked. Look, that's not true. The pressing plants are not overbooked. The pressing plants are dying for your business. They're soliciting for business. And they know that quality is what's going to take them there. So this fact that there are enough people to press these records is a good thing. Saying that they're all overbooked is absolutely not right. Okay. Now, QC at all as a miracle. People pressing less vinyl. Again, you guys have sold me records since about 2007, 2008. It's a little weird to be hearing that from you. So you go on, and then he says, the best thing the consumer can do is voice their concerns to the plants pressing records, which in this case was Cascade Pressing for the Switched on Eugene. Okay, so the consumer, us, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to do their job for them, and we're supposed to communicate with the pressing plants. He's telling me, I'm telling you, go to Twitter, it's there. And the thread's up on Facebook also. It defies logic. So the best thing the consumer can do is voice their concerns to the plants pressing records, which was Cascade Pressing. Bad records are made in every pressing. We're not personally QCing the pressing. We pay the plant to do that. Now, for me, this is a good place to start the discussion. Okay, well, in which case the plant is not doing right by your excellently curated label that really does everything else well. They're just not doing right by it. It's a starting point for a conversation. But that's not the way the conversation went. The conversation went, the final email, Twitter, the tweet, this is amazing. He says, yeah, you can get in touch with orders at numerogroup.com, I guess, to discuss a replacement or whatever. But the final line is, this coming from Numero Group, but try streaming too. We need a lot less plastic on the planet right now. So now, the guy tells me, okay, you can go here, but you should probably not buy records. Stream. Seemed odd to me, but again, it seemed like a good place for to have a very, very good discussion, an open and honest discussion about the state of vinyl. Am I really exaggerating that it's that bad? So when a record label responds like this, and I'm interested as a customer to bring these records, this catalog, into my store, I'm going to ask about the quality. I'm not just going to put it there because you're Numero Group. It doesn't work that way. I want quality. That's it. And as somebody who buys the record, I'm allowed, whether I buy one copy for myself or whether I buy 150 copies to sell to other people. Quality counts. That's what we're buying. If we wanted to stream music, we'd be doing it. We wouldn't be spending the $35 that I spent to buy the, Switched on Eugene record. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop there, gather my thoughts a little bit, and play you another song. Jade Jackson. This is something new. It's from, you guys want to hear more, right? I'll give you more. I promise I'll give you more. Jade Jackson, new artist on Anti, which is the Warner Records group, and you should be seeing that. I'm going to play one for you. The second song on side A called City Lights. By the way, Warner, you blocked us on Facebook, so something's still all messed up over here. We need Facebook audience. We need Facebook audience. Help a brother out. What do you say? This is Jay Jackson. New album coming up on Anti Records, City Lights. We'll have this in the store. Great. There you go, Jay Jackson. Hope you liked it. I don't know. I like it. It's poppier than what I usually listen to, but the whole album's solid. So I've been wanting to tell you guys about it, but it's just not on Discogs yet. It's not anywhere, So as soon as the information comes up, I'm going to be stocking it in the store and liking it and playing it on the radio for you because I like it. That's very much the idea of this, right? Old style radio. Play the songs. Have a conversation about the songs. What did you think of that Jay Jackson album? The Ministry fans might not like it, but, the Arnett fans might not. I don't give a fuck. I'm playing all music, okay? And you're not going to like some of it, but the idea is for us to kind of go outside our comfort zone and just celebrate that all music is amazing, even the stuff that we don't know, man. And make sure that we give it the respect, the vinyl the respect that it should be given, and having quality products, quality pressed products. The standard isn't the same for a $20 or a sub $20 record as it is maybe for the audiophile stuff, but there should still be a standard. So Let me continue my Numero story, and then we're going to get into Budo's band, the latest one, which I think was released last year on Daptone. Daptone, I've noticed, is kind of hit and miss when it comes to the pressing, but I love the catalog so much I buy it, and if it's no good, I just won't put it in the store. So that's one thing that I will be doing, okay? We'll be spending a good amount of money buying these records ahead of time if we don't have promo. We'll still buy them if I think they're important records that, you know, we'd like to stock, because we want to make sure that we put the good stuff in there. Good, not only for music, but good for product also. So there's a plan in place there. VinylJunkies.store. It'll be good, I promise. So this Budos band, 5, good record. Let's continue on the story. So yeah, what it is that I did is I copy-pasted, I basically screenshotted that exact image. I didn't take anything out. Their words, you know, just like that. And what, you know, because I think it's a pretty clear indication of, you know, what I'm up against, really, when I'm talking about quality control, you know. And I got to say that it's not the first time that I've heard that kind of thing. Being told to go fuck myself when I ask about the quality of a record is something that's happening a lot. You know, there are walls. But I'm going to keep doing what I got to keep doing. It's as simple as that, especially if I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and get the store going. So I put that up, and the best thing happened, okay? If you guys want to join our Vinyl Junkies page on Facebook, we're there. So it started a really good discussion, okay? And a lot of people from the industry weighed in, and fans talked about their experience as well, right? They buying the record and what it is that frustrates them, and, you know, pointing to shipping and a whole lot of things. Scott Hall, a mastering engineer who does a great job mastering vinyl, he really does, 30 years experience, he weighed in. That's significant. Michael Kurtz, along with Kerry Colleton, started Record Store Day. They are the easiest target in the world, but let me tell you something, vinyl doesn't get to where we are right now if it isn't for those two people in Record Store Day. Period. They help keep the stores alive. Whatever the bad stuff is, that's what it comes down to. So we had a lively discussion, and I thought it went somewhere. I thought it was very good to see people, you know, record store owners, talk with, you know, label heads, talk with mastering engineers and everybody else. Lots of people read Vinyl Junkies. I'm proud of that. I try to provide you guys with content. I try to provide that content that keeps, you know, that's that middle area between the industry and somebody who just buys a whole fuckload of records. And I'm there, you know. So, Jesus. This Ken guy, read it yourself. Just go to the page, read it yourself, make your comments. You can see for yourself. Didn't really. I don't think he really made such a good argument for his label, which led him to do something else. He sent me a personal message. The personal message is, "You don't even have the guts to message me. Hide behind your screen, Jeremy. You wonder why 99% of the people you tweet at don't respond? It's because you're a troll. And now I'm going to troll you, but not just on the internet. Professionally, I'm coming for you. This is now my own personal crusade. We both have crusades. Ken Shipley, the owner of Numero Group, sent that to me. You can't threaten me. I am allowed to check whatever record I want. You can't threaten me. I'm not going away. But what it is that you've done is you've shown everybody exactly how disgraceful you are, and how little you care about vinyl. And I'm sorry, I didn't do it to you. You took the rope, you hung it yourself. These are self-inflicted wounds. Vinyl does matter. And if somebody asks you a question, maybe the right answer isn't to tell them to go fuck themselves. They've done this already also with Record Store Day. Basically right before Record Store Day 1 year was another class move. What it is that they did was put out a statement that went out to all of the media rags denouncing Record Store Day, and in doing so, knowing that they were going to get the press, then announced their own pop-up record store where they would sell their records themselves. All of this in a very classless way, really basically just shitting on Record Store Day. Not cool. But I didn't remember it was them until somebody brought it to my attention. But now, yeah, that's that what was behind it. And, I've been getting a lot of emails about these pop-up shops that show up place by place by place that basically go there and take all that independent money, because labels like Numero, it's not the average Amazon buyer that's going to buy it. It's the little guys, okay? It's the independents. I mean, we got to support each other. But, for them to take their little pop-up shops and go to all of these little stores and operate and just basically take even that business from them seems a little shady. But hey, the almighty dollar. Hope it's working out for you. So now I'm going to listen to Budo's band. That's the story. You guys can make whatever conclusion you want. The only thing I can say to you is that I don't intimidate easy. I care about these records. I don't want to buy bad records. And if I'm going to open up a record store on top of everything else, I'm not going to sell them garbage. I will test drive the car before putting it on the lot. I'm sorry if that bothers you. Here's one that made it. Budo's Band 5, Daptone. Awesome record. Pretty great, right? I wish I had time to listen to it myself. I was busy queuing up and doing the rest of that stuff. But yeah, man, that's what the third track off Budos Band last record. That one right there, simply entitled 5. It's freaking awesome, man. I like how it is that they incorporate elements of Afrobeat with just 70s vibe, stoner grooves. It's something that doesn't exist out there. Just those punchy horns combined with stoner grooves and Afrobeat does it for me. Just Daptone, man. You buy a Daptone record, it's just... the music is going to make you happy. The records are kind of spotty sometimes. That's frustrating. But that won't stop me from checking, for myself, because I love the label, man. I love the label. So look, I owe you guys a winner for the 10 LP box set. That will be coming. I'm somehow feeling like I should end this right now. Let's see. I'm going to play you a song from Sinners. That's a label that we'll be stocking. It's, like I said, a Montreal record label that really focuses on 60s and 70s. Just basically Quebec-based music, garage, metal, but the garage stuff and the prog stuff's really good, especially for those of you that like collecting the obscure stuff. And it's really well priced and it's extremely well pressed. So I look forward to telling you a whole lot more about those. I'm going to play a song called Ben Gelé. Ben Gelé, for those of you who don't live in Quebec. Ben Gelé. That's spoken in Quebec Joual. Basically, translated, it means really fucking high, really stoned. And you'll see what that's about. I'm probably going to play back-to-back, okay? Get 2 songs so that you kind of get an idea. And after that, we'll pick a winner. What do you say? Here are Sinners, Ben Gelé.
Avec un flac en dessous du nez, la sourire en bas de zéro, je vois bien qu'il veut rien savoir. Hey, ben gelé, ben gelé, ça va pas le cégep du Vieux-Montréal, étudier là c'est tout un régal, garden party à l'année, ils veulent rien savoir. Hey, ben gelé, son bébé gelé, les guerriers roses du Québec, pas juste des fourmis de l'arc et voile, ils veulent rien savoir. Bébé gelé, son bébé gelé, mais je me fie pas la publicité, qui vient d'Europe et des États. Le Québec paye même en été, ils veulent rien savoir. Bébé gelé, oh bébé gelé, vous autres qui nous écoutez, essayez pas de trouver le message. Regardez notre beau plumage, nous autres on veut rien savoir. Bébé gelé, on est bébé gelé. Nous autres qui vous écoutons, on essaie pas de vous comprendre. On trouve pas la dernière phrase, c'est bien qu'on les met trop gelés. Bébé gelé, on est bébé gelé, yeah. On est bébé gelé, bébé gelé, bébé gelé. Ah, j'ai tiré la gueule, j'ai bien gelé. Ben gelé, il ben gelé, les glaces à l'action, Johnny Winter. Ben gelé, on les BLQ, ben gelé, du Québec. Ben gelé, il ben
me that doesn't sound like Planet Caravan. That's what I was going back there when I disappeared from the screen. It was not only to look for another jazz cigarette, but I was looking for Paranoid and couldn't find it. It's in there somewhere, but I wanted to play Planet Caravan back to back because it would have fit, you know? And so we're at the end of the show. I'm gonna finish off with a little intro and the last song off the Budos Band record 5, available on Fat Possum. What the hell is it called? Daptone Records. Yeah, man, Daptone Records. We're gonna stock it if we can find it. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Look, weigh in. You know, are we doing the right thing here? I'm fed up with buying bad records, so I think this conversation has to be had. And the fact is, I think I even alluded to this in last week's show before any of this Numero stuff happened. There's going to be an expansion and contraction that happens before we start seeing the standards get better. And these types of conversations have to be had. So I'm not going to stop having them because I love the records. And chances are, if I'm calling you and I'm trying to have that conversation with you, it's it's two things, actually. Number one, I bought your record. I bought it. Number two, I want to stock your stuff in the store, but I want to know I want to make sure that I stock the good stuff. Seems fair, right? Any smart businessman, that's the way they do it. So that's the standard. Now, we're going to pick our winner for the Typo Negative 10 LP box set. It was not picked by me, and I'm giving only the first part of the email. So you will recognize yourself, and we will send you a email confirming that you are the winner. Paranoid Terry, you have won a 10 LP Typo Negative box set, courtesy of our friends at Run Out Groove. You'll notice that I play a lot of Run Out Groove records because I believe in it. They make fantastic records, and I will do everything that I can to have some of that stock there for you. I don't know how that's going to work, but they're good records. Why don't we listen to some Budos bands? Thanks for paying attention and listening. Love talking to you guys. I'll be here next week. Cheers.